Hi, so today we will take our discussion on the topic of karma forward from the last part where we discussed what is karma. Today we will be talking about what are the different types of karma. And before I start the topic, I would like to again say that do not consider karma as a reward or a punishment system, because it is not. It is simply memory, and we know that even for the life to establish itself, we need memory, right? So even to create human beings, we need the material of memory. Without that, we cannot have anything manifest in its physical form, right? Now, coming back to the topic, what are the different types of karma and how do we see karma appearing in our lives? So, karma basically appears at two levels. One, at an individual level, which is very specific to each soul, and that is something which we have been carrying from birth to birth to birth, and even in the future we will be carrying forward. Now, the second one is the collective karma, which as a family, as a community, as a nation, as a as a species, we all share a karmic memory among ourselves, and that is called the collective karma. Now, when we talk about collective karma, we need to understand that sometimes at an individual level we might not have done something, be it good or bad, but we get to see the results of it because we are part of a system, right, as a collective. So that is the collective karma. Now, coming back to individual karma. Now, individual karmas are do also have different types, and to understand that, let's get back to Gita, Bhagavad Gita, right? Now, I'll just read a paragraph from Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll try to understand what I'm talking about. Now, according to the Bhagavad Gita, an eternal self shed various bodies, but in fact remains unchanged, as this absolute component is born from Krishna and destined to return to him after completing the cycle of reincarnation known as samsara. Now, Krishna is very clearly talking about this eternal self. So we know that God is eternal, so is this self which is inside us, right? And that self shed various bodies, but in fact remains unchanged. So the body changes, but the self inside that body doesn't change, right? And why it is unchanged? Because as this is absolute component which is born from Krishna. Now, before understanding this, when Krishna says Krishna, he's actually talking about that component of Krishna which is part of the super consciousness, right? Because Krishna had attained enlightenment, or Krishna was already one with the source. So when he says Krishna, he doesn't talk about physical form of Krishna, but that Krishna which is everything. And hence he also talks about Krishna which is in you and me and in everything that we see. So in every material he speaks about Krishna, right? So that Krishna he is referring here. So he's saying as the absolute component is born from Krishna, right, which is actually conduit of Vishnu. So we're all part of that super consciousness, right? And that super consciousness, fragment of which all of us have, and we've been hearing that right from our childhood, right, that we all have Ishwar in us, or Bhagwan in us, or God in us. This is what they meant by saying that we all have God in us. It's just that we have distanced ourselves from that aspect of God from us, and nowhere do we feel that that we are actually just part of that super consciousness. we will be talking about this later, but coming back to the topic. So then he's saying that this self, the part of the eternal self, is destined to return to him after completing the cycle of reincarnation, which is known as the samsara. Now this is all where we're living, where we are doing every bit that we can, is the samsara, right? Now Krishna shows Arjun that humans should aim precisely to advance their soul along the cycle of shedding their attachment to the gunas. Now one part is the eternal self, which is never changing because it's the part of that super consciousness, but we have these gunas attached to us, which because of our birth and because being in that cycle of birth and death, rebirth and death, rebirth and death, we have accumulated in us, and the gunas that we will be talking about later. But these gunas are the basis of our personality, and hence we all find ourselves so individual even when we are part of that same system or the same source, right? Now we're not saying whether these gunas or gun are good or bad. We're just saying that it is that which makes us very individual, right? Now he says reincarnating into progressively holier bodies until they transcend reincarnation altogether and are reincorporated into absolute being. Now here he is saying that till the time this eternal self will keep reincarnating until and unless this eternal self progress to become the holier body. When he says progressively holier body, he means that we need to get detached, or we need to get hold of that eternal self, which is the part of the source, and we need to come back to that aspect of us which is as divine in nature as it is in real sense. And we need to get all of these gunas which are attached to us, we shed all of this and reach our purest form. And what will happen then is that until they transcend reincarnation altogether and are reincorporated into absolute beings, and that will take us becoming that absolute being which is actually one with the source, right? Now understanding these gunas, now what are these gunas, that we'll talk later. But so these gunas are, we keep adding and subtracting as we reincarnate again and again. Now so we understand that there's this system of reincarnation and birth, right? And there comes a time in a person's life that he is awakened from this system, right? And we sometimes call it spiritual awakening, we call it waking up. So what does that mean is basically that we as a soul, if this is Maya where we are in, and this Maya is so each and every culture and tradition and religion have been talking about this system as being an illusion, right? Now of course it's not an illusion for us because we are living it each and every day. We have a system, we have people around us, we have everything around us to make us feel that everything is real. But at a level when we understand that what we call as we is just part of this particular scenario as of now as real, right? Whereas at a eternal self, as an eternal self, this is endless, right? So I might associate myself as Yati and my surrounding as me, but actually it is endless till the time I understand that, I wake up to my real self, and I understand that yes, it is reality for me right now, but still it is a part of the larger Maya, or the illusion that we are living in. Now, uh, so this is called, when you are awakened to the spiritual journey of yours. So I keep saying that we all are in only one journey, and that is our spiritual journey. Now, whether we choose to awaken to the spiritual journey or not, that is a choice, that is a free will. But there will be times when, as individual, we will be given opportunity to be awakened, right? And it'll keep showing you signs, it'll keep giving you hints, because we all ultimately are supposed to evolve, not as a community, but even at a individual levels, right? Because as a species we are all evolving together, right? But at an individual level, that is our individual responsibility, that others can't do for us, right? Now, hence, when we talk about spiritual journey, it is a journey which is the journey of a soul, and it runs parallel to the journey of karma, right? Now, at an individual level, we have three types of karmas, right? So consider this: we have a bank, and there we have our the entire money I have is in my bank, right? Now I choose to take out certain amount, and I say that I will be starting my business, or I will be enjoying my life from this particular amount, and then I will be spending that money. So understand karma in such a way that there is this huge pile of karma or karma that you have, which is basically the sanchit karma, right? So they have all the goods and bads you've done ever in all your lives, and it has accumulation of all that, right? Now from that, as Yati, I have chosen a certain amount of karma, which I say that in this life I will choose to work on those, right? Because if we understand soul, we'll understand that we really can't, complete all our sanchit karma in one life, because we are limited. We can't do that, because the amount of sanchit karma is so much, so huge, that we will take, we just can't, we are not equipped enough to cover all of those in just 80 to 70 to 80 years. We would need a longer span of life. Now again, if as a species also, we have started, our age has decreased, which is now eventually increasing because of the medical facilities also. But if we go back to the times when people used to live 200 years, 300 years, they have longer duration, and they have a little lesser karma, and they could manage it easily in one life, right? Now the age span has decreased, and our karmas have increased, and so it's very difficult, right? So that's one of the reasons that we see more suffering as a whole, right? We see more people suffering more than ever. That's something else. We can discuss that also sometime. But I'm sorry, I just got drifted away. So coming back to sanchit karma, so we pick up a certain amount of karma, which we say that in this life I would be covering that particular amount of karma, and this karma is called prarabdha, right? Now there is third type of karma, which is the kriyaman karma. Now the prarabdha basically are the karma which I have already done in my past life and I'm carrying in this life, and my life will revolve around this prarabdha. But I have a free will, I have a choice to, even if I am going through my prarabdha, I have a choice to make new karma for my future self, which is the kriyaman karma, right? And this is how these three karmas play around in our life. Now, in my next video, I will be picking up each one of them and will be describing them with scenarios in our life. Basically, to understand karma, we really need to delve deeper. And once we understand it as a theory, when we apply it in our individual level in our life, we'll understand that, how much sense it makes. So hope I was able to convey the different types of karma and the meaning, and we will be discussing them individually in details in my coming video. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Good night.